I noticed 2 mistakes in the documents from the other day, but I've already corrected them and sent them up.
Huh? There were mistakes? I'm sorry. Just now, I received a report from my senior. I'm Haruhiko Yakumo. I'm a 26-year-old salesman working in the sales department of an IT company that runs a part-time job recruitment website.
Don't worry about it. If you're handling a lot of projects, anyone could make mistakes.
Huh. My senior's really kind. This is Mizuho Uchiura, a 3-year senior in the same department. She always helps me out, and everyone relies on her. She has a somewhat noble atmosphere and is a Madonna-like figure in the company. She's usually alone, which has led to rumors that she's from a rich family. Mizo-senpai is amazing. She's capable at work, good at following up, kind, and on top of that, she's beautiful. This is Tsuyoshi Ushirodate. He's a colleague from the sales department who constantly brags that his father is an executive at a major trading company. It's true. What kind of man do you think would be a match for Mizo-senpai? Of course it would be someone like me. After all, my father is an executive at a major trading company, and I'm one of the top salespeople in the company. Although, you're not a candidate, since I'm going after her first. Don't get in my way. One day, after finishing overtime, I stopped by a diner I had been curious about. It has a shabby appearance, like a place you would find in the countryside, but it's a specialty shop for local dishes. I really like places like this. When I entered, I was surprised to see someone I knew. Uchiura-senpai?
Yakumo-kun.
It was a surprise. Mizo-senpai was sitting at the counter of the restaurant. Good evening.
It's a coincidence. This place is pretty far from work. If you want, you can sit next to me.
Then I'll take you up on that. It seems Mizo-senpai is a regular at this place, coming once a week. She really loves the rustic atmosphere. I don't know what to say, but this is surprising.
Everyone says that. But what's wrong with liking places like this?
No, I think it's really lovely. It's like a hidden charm.
Really? Thank you. Do you like places like this too, Yakumo-kun?
Yes, my hobby is traveling, and I go to rural places with no tourist spots by myself. I've been curious about this place for a while.
Really? Oh, I also love the countryside. I've always been misunderstood. Like I don't like things like that. I love stylish places and shops, but I also love the countryside and old shops. Actually, I'm more at home in the countryside and in old wooden buildings.
Oh, I see. You don't know about a person until you talk to them, do you? After that, Mizo-senpai seemed to be slightly drunk, and her talk about loving the countryside never stopped. We got really excited talking about our favorite travel destinations, the best local dishes, and places we would like to visit someday.
You should come to my hometown sometime. It's a really rural place, but the air is so fresh and people are warm and welcoming.
I'm really glad I chose this place today. Of course, I was happy to have made a friend who loves the countryside, but I was also glad to learn the surprising side of Mizo-senpai.
Yakumo-kun, your appointment's in the afternoon, right? Can we go for lunch after this?
Got it! Since meeting at the diner, my relationship with Mizo-senpai clearly grew closer. Before long, she started calling me Yakumo-kun. And when we were both at the company, we would occasionally have lunch together. Of course, at the same diner. Since it was a place far from the company, I had never run into anyone from work there before. Recently, I thought they were getting along well, so I followed after them, but why him? Just as I sat down, Tsuyoshi Ushirodate appeared. Unfortunately, he hadn't been out on a sales call either, and had apparently followed me here. And he even invited Mizo-senpai to this shabby place. Mizo-senpai, I'm sorry about my colleague here. Let's go to a more stylish place. Actually, there's a hidden cafe near the office. Tsuyoshi was babbling, but before he could continue, a voice interrupted him clearly, though not loudly.
No thanks. What's your problem? It seems like you've been following us. And not only that, but you're insulting this place.
No, it's a misunderstanding. I just thought I would teach this colleague of mine that this isn't a place to take Mizo-senpai.
Then that's none of your business. I really like this place. Is that all? Then can you leave, please?
Ugh. Having been told this, Tsuyoshi had no choice but to leave the diner. But I warned you not to make a move on her. Of course, his anger wasn't going to subside. As soon as I went to the office and headed to the restroom, he came charging at me. I didn't make a move. It's your behavior that was unreasonable in the first place. Shut up! If she hates me now, it's your fault. Don't shift the blame. It's your own doing. He wouldn't listen, and because of him, I barely had any time for a break. I headed towards my afternoon appointment. Afterward, every time I saw Tsuyoshi, he started throwing sarcastic comments at me. On top of that, I started hearing rumors about me.
Recently, there have been a lot of rumors about Yakumo-san. He loves shabby, dirty shops. And they say he doesn't even have the spirit of chivalry. This rumor is kind of malicious. I wonder what's up with this.
The source is probably Tsuyoshi. But fortunately, it was just rumors about me being rumored. You're free now, right? Just perfect. Go take care of my appointment. Since we are salespeople, we're often out on the field, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But one day, when I came back from an appointment, Tsuyoshi finally took it a step further. Apparently, he added an appointment during his morning telemarketing session. Since he had other appointments, he had requested me to fill in for him. This place? It's far, but I managed to book it, so what can you do? We work at the company's headquarters, and there are a few other branches. Each branch has its own sales territory, and this was on the border between two branches, so it was quite far. I didn't expect him to take this one. Technically, it's within our range. Alright, I'll take it. Yeah, it's my fault for being too talented. Well, I've got a big case nearby, so I'm counting on you for this one. I see. So this is a subtle form of harassment with a small case that probably won't bring much profit from a distant area. He probably planned to assign it to me from the start by booking the appointment today. Otherwise, there would have been no one else available to go. And so, I ended up going on a business trip to a rather remote area I would never visit for tourism. Whoa, it's colder than I imagined. The area is completely covered in snow. The sea waves, mixed with drifting ice, are rough. I wonder what the temperature is. Maybe below 0.
Thanks for coming. Feel free to warm up by the stove.
Thank you. Apparently, the local government, agriculture cooperative, fisheries cooperative, and local businesses are working together on a large-scale project to recruit long-term part-time workers during university students' long spring break to experience rural life and work.
Even if we put out the recruitment ads, do you think we'll get any applicants?
Well, with this cold, it might be tough. But either way, I think we need to recruit online to target the right demographic. The shortage of labor in rural industries due to depopulation and aging, as well as the succession issue, is a pressing problem. The goal is to attract more people by offering long-term part-time work in the countryside, even if just one person becomes interested. That's what many people say, right? But it's only effective in more urban areas.
Yeah, even though the internet has a big impact, there is still a difference between rural areas and cities, isn't there?
And so, the casual conversation began. I believe the secret to successful sales is how well you can hold a casual conversation. For me, 90% of it is just chatting. The goal is to gain the other person's trust by making them think, this person seems reliable. Of course, depending on the person, there are times when I need to explain things in a more logical way. Flexibility is key when adapting to different people. But this time was a bit special. The person in charge warmed up to me early on.
Well, I'm telling you because it's you. But there's an unsettling rumor going around.
At a moment when we were getting comfortable, the person in charge suddenly vented. Apparently, there's a trading company that's had a long-term exclusive contract with the village's fisheries cooperative, and they're suspected of corruption.
The local government stepped in to stop them from underpricing, but the fishermen's lives still haven't improved. There are limits to what the government can do, so the locals are trying to unite to find the problems on their own.
And so, I successfully gained their trust and finished my first visit. Hey, welcome back. How'd my appointment go? When I showed up at the office the next morning, Tsuyoshi greeted me with his usual grin. I ignored him and sat down at my desk. It went really well. I think we can probably visit again next time. Oh, that's great. Glad to hear my appointment wasn't wasted. Thanks to you, I was able to close a big deal yesterday. I'm so happy. If I close a deal, Tsuyoshi gets the points for the appointment. He's obviously thrilled about getting points from my success.
Good morning, Haruhiko. I heard about yesterday's deal.
As we were talking, Mizuho-senpai came in. When I greeted her, Tsuyoshi, with a bright expression, barged into the conversation. Good morning, Mizuho-senpai. You have to hear this. I closed a big deal yesterday.
Good morning. I see. Congrats.
Tsuyoshi kept going, even though he should have stopped there. This is just who he is. Compared to that, Haruhiko had to stay overnight for an appointment in a remote area. Yeah, and to a backwater village. A place like that doesn't have the money to spend on a website, right? You shouldn't say it like that. Sure, it was a rural place, but the air was fresh, and the people were warm. It was a good village. Yeah, you're really desperate, huh? Well, for you, if you can't close a deal, it's just a waste of time, huh? But really, it was a desolate village. Wanna see the official website? It looks like one of the most remote places ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right. Look, here it is. Even in the photos, it looks so run down, right? Going there for someone else's appointment? Haruhiko lacks the guts of a salesman. I'm sure I'm a much more promising guy for the future. My father is an executive at a major company, so I'm a good catch, right? Right? How about it? How about we grab lunch together today? I really want to get to know you better, Mizuho-senpai. Tsuyoshi babbles on, and when I look at Mizuho-senpai, I feel like I've seen this scene before.
That's my hometown.
Huh? When Mizuho-senpai spoke those words, Tsuyoshi's words, which I had tried to warn him about, suddenly stopped. Wait, don't joke! You're from the city, right? An elegant lady from the city!
I'm not joking. My hometown has no tourism or industries, and it's ridiculously cold in winter. That's where I'm from. I never said I'm from the city, nor did I ever claim to be.
The office is almost full now, and most employees are present. Her words sent shockwaves throughout the office.
You know, I'm often misunderstood. People think I'm from the city or that I'm some rich girl. It's nice that they think that, but it's not true at all. I actually come from a fishing family in a rural village. So I go to bars, and that diner you mocked is one of my regular spots. Sure, maybe some women see you as a good catch because of your future potential and rich family. But no matter how promising you are, I don't want to be around someone who looks down on others. So, first, could you apologize to Haruhiko-kun? I've been uncomfortable with you for a while now.
Mizuho glares at Tsuyoshi, and he slowly lowers his head, apologizing. I'm sorry for looking down on you and harassing you. You should have something to say to Mizuho-senpai too. I'm sorry.
All right, then don't ever do that again. Don't worry, I'll treat you just like before at work, but unfortunately, even if you apologize, you're not my type. So don't bother me anymore.
Ugh. That was the moment Tsuyoshi's heartbreak began, and so the drama before work ended. Senpai, do you have time tonight? After that commotion, Miso Senpai was accepted by everyone at the office, and her popularity only grew. While I secretly felt a bit jealous, we steadily grew closer. At the same time, we secured a deal for the project we had been working on. Things were going smoothly, but meanwhile, something big was happening in Miso Senpai's hometown. Wait, fraud?
Yes, I think it's going to be in the news soon.
It turns out the shady rumors I heard when I was on my visit were true. The trading company with an exclusive contract with the Fisheries Cooperative had been misusing its priority position and was found to have been involved in bribery. I'm surprised you found out. It must have been difficult.
The locals came together to protect the fishermen, and it seems like this was the result of their efforts. It seems it was happening on a nationwide scale. It's a huge scandal, and the mastermind behind it was...
Huh? What's going on? The next morning, Tsuyoshi Ushirodate was shouting at the TV.
It has been revealed that fraudulent transactions were taking place in fisheries and agricultural cooperatives nationwide. The mastermind behind this is Narane Ushirodate, a 56-year-old executive at the company owning the name corporation.
And it turned out that the mastermind behind the bribe scheme was his father. Yes, the source of the dark rumors was his father.
Hey, did you see the news this morning? Yeah, I saw it. That trading company, it's run by Tsuyoshi's dad, right? So that means the arrested executive is Ushirodate's.
Tsuyoshi Ushirodate, who constantly boasted about his father being an executive at a major trading company, suddenly became the center of attention when it was revealed that the arrested man was his father. No, it must be some kind of mistake. Yeah, that's it. It has to be a mistake. Tsuyoshi shouted in denial, but no one was listening. Afterward, Tsuyoshi refused to come to work, unable to cope with the shock of being rejected by Mizo senpai and his father's arrest. He went completely silent and was eventually dismissed for misconduct. Why did this happen? I'm not guilty! I'm not guilty! No one knew where Tsuyoshi ended up or what happened to him afterward. Meanwhile, Mizo senpai and I had happily started dating. On this day off, we were visiting her hometown together.
Oh, Mom! Welcome home, Mizuho. And thank you for always taking care of Haruhiko.
There she was, the woman Mizuho referred to as her mother, someone I was already familiar with. Yes, she was actually Mizo senpai's mother. I had already been told by Mizuho that her family came from a rural area, and I knew from the moment Tsuyoshi mentioned it that it was her hometown. That's why when I brought up Mizo senpai during my first business visit, I was able to gain her trust unusually quickly. By the way, Mizo already knew about the fraudulent transaction, which hadn't been reported yet, because her mother had told her.
I never expected my daughter to be dating you, Yakumo-san. If she's your girlfriend, I shouldn't call you Yakumo-san, should I? I should call you Haruhiko. Mom, stop it. This is so embarrassing.
Mizuho is a lot more playful when it's private. Later, we visited Mizuho's home and met her father. He was a fisherman, a quiet man with a wonderful smile. Connections between people are strange things. It's as if some invisible force is at work, tying people together with a mysterious thread. I promise to make your daughter happy. Please allow me to date her with marriage in mind.
Huh? Huh? Oh my.
Good connections bring happiness, while bad ones bring misery, or so it seems. As a simple person, I may never fully understand this, but I believe it's something worth believing in. In today's world, where human connections are thinning, I want to cherish the bonds I have. and I hope that our lives will be filled with happiness.
Hello, Brittany here with another adorable episode. I love Mama. All right, I will see you in the next one. Love you all, and bye-bye.